Hello, and so welcome to the PolyTools channel. I wanted to start making more content. So let me fix this real quick because this microphone stand keeps breaking. And I wanted to make more content around tech reviews and just creating overall more different reviews of different products, because there's a lot of cool tech that I've come across and that I've gotten in my hands that isn't enough content out there. For example, I have the Xbox Kinect V2, which is what every Xbox One came with. Sure, a lot of people had it. Not enough people made content around it, and people didn't realize you could actually use it as a webcam. So for example, for a while there, I was using a Razer Kiyo, which is not the greatest webcam, but I wouldn't mind doing a review of it too. It was one of the ones that had like the light built into it, which I thought was pretty cool. But that caused a lot of illumination when it came to the actual like video. Maybe if you got like a little ring that you could put in the middle of it to block some of the light bleed, that might actually work really well. I didn't think about that until now. And I had that camera, but it was like, okay, between the light bleed and the lower resolution, it wasn't really that great looking. But I had an Xbox Kinect lying around. Bought it for like $20 on Marketplace. I was like, okay, cool. It turns out you can use it as a 1080p, pretty wide-ranging webcam, and it's really cool. And while I don't use it anymore because I have a better webcam, it actually was pretty good for a while. It took a lot of bandwidth, but now that I have a new PC, it might actually be really good. And I could actually use it in the living room when I want to do game streaming through my TV. I think that'd be really cool to have a living room set up where I'm playing the game in the most comfortable position, but then also have I'm gonna have like the ambient lights and all that jazz, but also have a game stream going on so people can see me in my most comfortable state. I thought that'd be kind of cool. So I have cool ideas like that, and there's not enough videos about people using it as a webcam. There's a few of them out there, but nothing modern. And what I wanted to talk about today is the Intel Compute Stick M3. That's the one I have. And ever since this product got announced, the original version at least, I thought it was the coolest little thing. And so you see it has a USB port on that side. That's the one you use to charge it, but it also allows you to have a little dock, and I'll show you that in a moment. And there's a little SD card slot in there, little fan vent, and that's about it. Another big fan in the bottom here, and then the other side has a USB port, and then I think that is the power button. Yeah, and another fan, and it's just an HDMI. It's literally just like a Fire Stick, but it's a full-fledged Windows PC. And while this isn't necessarily a full like review when it comes to like here's all the specs about it and that kind of thing, I think it's a quad core, 2 to 4 gigs of RAM, and it's probably, I think this one's like 64 gigs of EMC storage, and it could be 32, but I'm pretty sure it's 64 because I think there was a couple different versions. And then the one I got comes with this power brick. And so you use it to power the cable, but it also has 2 extra USB ports. So it's kind of chunky. So like this mini PC is small, but the actual power brick is kind of huge. And I guess not all of them came with that, but that's just good to know. I have a little couple other accessories in here. I have an HDMI cable. No, that's the USB cable. I have an HDMI extender, and then I have this little USB dongle thing that just I felt would be useful to keep in there. It's a little bit older now, so it's not actually good for a lot of newer PCs, but considering that I might need it for this, then I just have this nice cool VidPros case. And so I just thought I'd mention that. But this little thing, why would you get it, right? They're pretty severely underpowered, but if you're wise with it, you can actually use it as a tiny little emulation machine. Probably can't do anything more than N64, maybe PlayStation 1, but anything below that would be just fine. But I actually thought about using it for a few different cases. First off, I learned the hard way to have a backup PC. Now, at the moment, I have like 5 PCs, and so it's a little much, but at one point, I had my computer, and the AIO liquid cooler leaked, and I lost everything. Like, basically, at least I kept my storage, but I lost my main computer because the motherboard and the GPU got damaged. And I had nothing to back it up at that time. Now I have a laptop, and I have another PC, like my old PC actually is right there. So technically I have backups now, but just in case I need a backup for my backup, I have this. And it's so small, even in this case, it's so small. Like this is about the same size as my actual main PC, mind you, that I could take this with me on a trip and have an actual full-fledged Windows desktop right then and there. All you need is a screen at that point, which are pretty common if you go to a place like a TV or something like that. And so not only could I use this as a backup, I could use it as a travel PC. I could use it as technically speaking, you could probably use it as a streaming PC. So if you want to have a dual PC setup, so you have one for your gaming, one for the streaming, you could probably use this. I don't know if it's necessarily powerful for the encoding for it, but at the very least, it might work for in a pinch, or if you need to have something else that be the streaming PC, it might technically work, especially if you do it like in the cloud too, or something like that with Restream. And also, I installed Zorin OS on it, which is a much lighter operating system. And I got the light version of Zorin OS. And so that way I can actually use it without Windows taking up half the RAM. And I just think it's a fascinating little device. And I wanted to talk about it more. So this is just like an announcement video for me making more tech reviews and tech videos, but also just a cool little device that I wanted to share with you all.